and welcome to my channel, AS Emergency Services. What I'm going to do with this channel is really see how it goes. I'm just going to do this as and when I can. I will leave all videos as a plain black screen. I don't have a camera. I don't plan on getting a camera. It will also allow you guys to be able to put your phones on the side while you sleep and not cause any disturbance, any distractions. You'll be able to turn the brightness down. With that, it'll also help out with data usage. If you guys want to download the videos or stream the videos while being out and about, it means I can upload the videos in a very small resolution, and yeah, you won't get any buffering, and the file sizes should be very small. So yeah, that should help out with that. Okay, so yeah, let's get into it. We're going to do some space facts. We're going to look at the sun, each of the planets, and round it off with Pluto at the end. So let me know in the comments what you think, and yeah, enjoy. So here are 8 interesting and easy to understand facts about the sun. Number 1, it's huge. The sun is so big that you could fit about 1.3 million Earths inside it. It makes up more than 99% of the total mass of our entire solar system. 2, the sun is a giant nuclear reactor. At its core, the sun is constantly fusing hydrogen atoms together to form helium. This process releases an immense amount of energy, and this is why the sun shines so brightly. Number 3, it's really hot. The surface of the sun is around about 5,500 degrees centigrade, or 9,900 degrees Fahrenheit, but its core is even hotter, reaching temperatures of about 15 million degrees C, or 27 million degrees Fahrenheit. Number 4, the sun is middle-aged. Our sun is about 4.6 billion years old, and it's roughly halfway through its life. It has another 5 billion years to go before it runs out of fuel and becomes a red giant. Number 5, it takes light 8 minutes to reach Earth. Even though light travels super fast, at about 300,000 kilometers per second, it still takes sunlight around 8 minutes to travel the 93 million miles from the sun to the Earth. Number 6, the sun has weather just like Earth. So just like Earth, the sun has its own form of weather called solar storms. These storms can send out bursts of charged particles that, when they reach Earth, can cause beautiful northern lights or disrupt satellites and power grids. Number 7, the sun's magnetic field is strong. The sun has a powerful magnetic field that can twist and snap, creating sunspots and solar flares. These flares are sudden bursts of energy that can release as much energy as billions of atomic bombs. Number 8, one day the sun will expand and eat the Earth. In about 5 billion years, the sun will run out of fuel and expand into a red giant. When it does, it will grow so large that it could swallow up Mercury, Venus, and possibly Earth. Fortunately, we've got a long time before that happens. And now we've had some facts about the sun, let's move on to Mercury. So Mercury is the tiniest planet in our solar system. It's even smaller than some of the moons orbiting other planets. You could fit over 18 Mercuries inside Earth Number 2. Mercury is the planet nearest to the Sun, and it orbits at a distance of about 36 million miles. That means that it's super hot on the side that faces the Sun. Number 3. Even though Mercury is the closest planet to the Sun, its temperature swings are wild. During the day, it can reach up to 430 degrees C or 800 degrees Fahrenheit, but at night it plunges to minus 180 degrees C or minus 290 degrees Fahrenheit, and this is because it has no atmosphere to trap heat. Number 4. Unlike Earth, Mercury has a very thin atmosphere called an exosphere. It's made of atoms blown off its surface by solar winds. This means there's nothing to trap heat or protect it from space debris. Number 5. A year is short, but a day is long. It only takes 88 Earth days to orbit the Sun, so its year is much shorter than ours. However, one day, or the time that it takes for Mercury to spin once on its axis, lasts 59 Earth days. Number 6. Mercury has a big iron core. About 85% of Mercury's radius is made up of its core, which is mostly iron. Scientists believe that this makes it extremely dense for its small size. Number 7. Mercury's surface is covered with craters because it has no atmosphere to protect it from meteoroids. It looks similar to our moon in this way. Number 8. Despite being so close to the Sun, Mercury has ice at its poles. In some craters, where sunlight never reaches, the temperature stays cold enough to keep water ice frozen. And let's move on to Venus. Number 1. Venus is often called Earth's twin because it's similar in size, mass, and composition. However, the two planets couldn't be more different when it comes to conditions on their surfaces. 2. It's the hottest planet. Even though Venus is further from the Sun than Mercury, it's the hottest planet in the solar system. Its thick atmosphere traps heat, causing surface temperatures to reach a scorching 465 degrees Celsius or 870 degrees Fahrenheit. This is hot enough to melt lead. 3. Venus has a super thick atmosphere made mostly of carbon dioxide with clouds of sulfuric acid. This creates a crushing pressure on the surface that's about 90 times greater than Earth's. Number 4. The clouds on Venus are filled with sulfuric acid, and while rain doesn't reach the surface, it evaporates due to the extreme heat. The acid clouds make Venus a very inhospitable place. Number 5. Venus spins so slowly that one full rotation takes 243 Earth days. Oddly enough, it takes less time, or around about 225 Earth days, for Venus to orbit the Sun, so its day is longer than its year. Number 6. Most planets in the solar system spin counterclockwise, but Venus spins clockwise. This means that if you were standing on Venus, the Sun would rise in the west and set in the east. Number 7. Unlike Earth, Venus has no moons or rings. It's one of only 2 planets in our solar system without any natural satellites, the other being Mercury. And for the final fact about Venus, number 8. Scientists believe that billions of years ago, Venus may have had oceans and a climate similar to Earth's. However, a runaway greenhouse effect caused its atmosphere to trap heat, leading to the hellish conditions that we see today. And now, let's go a little closer to home with some facts about Earth. Number 1. As far as we know, Earth is the only planet in the universe that supports life. Its perfect balance of water, atmosphere, and temperature makes it a unique home for millions of species. Number 2. About 71% of Earth's surface is covered in water, mainly oceans. That's why it's sometimes called the blue planet. The oceans also help regulate our climate and support a vast amount of life. Number 3. Our atmosphere is made up of 78% nitrogen, 21% oxygen, and small amounts of other gases like carbon dioxide. The oxygen allows us to breathe, while the atmosphere protects us from harmful solar radiation and space debris. Number 4. Deep beneath Earth's surface is a molten core made mostly of iron and nickel. This core generates Earth's magnetic field, which shields us from harmful solar winds and helps with navigation using compasses. Number 5. Earth's outer layer, called the crust, is divided into tectonic plates that are constantly shifting. These slow movements cause earthquakes, volcanic activity, and the formation of mountains over time. Number 6. Earth takes around about 365.25 days to orbit the Sun. To keep our calendar aligned with this, we add an extra day every 4 years, which creates a leap year with 366 days. Number 7. Earth is not a perfect sphere. It's slightly flattened at the poles and bulges at the equator due to its rotation. This makes its shape more of an oblate spheroid. Number 8. Earth's large moon helps keep our planet's axial tilt stable. This is crucial for maintaining seasons and a relatively stable climate. Without the moon, Earth's wobble could cause extreme weather changes over time. And now, we've arrived at Mars. Mars is called the red planet, and it gets its nickname because of its reddish colour, which comes from the iron oxide or rust on its surface. This gives it that iconic reddish-orange hue when viewed from space. Number 2. Mars is home to Olympus Mons, a giant volcano that stands about 13.6 miles high, which is nearly 3 times the height of Mount Everest. Number 3. Because Mars has a tilted axis, it experiences seasons just like Earth does. However, Martian seasons are twice as long, because it takes Mars about 687 Earth days to orbit the Sun. Number 4. The atmosphere on Mars is mostly carbon dioxide, and it's incredibly thin compared to Earth's. This means that temperatures swing wildly, and it provides little protection from solar radiation. Number 5. Evidence from rovers and orbiters shows that Mars once had flowing water in rivers, lakes, and possibly oceans. Today, most of its water is frozen in the polar ice caps or trapped underground. Number 6. Mars has 2 small, oddly shaped moons named Phobos and Deimos. They are much smaller and less round than Earth's moon, and might actually be captured asteroids. Number 7. Mars Mars has planet-wide dust storms that can last for weeks or even months at a time. These storms can cover the entire planet and are the largest dust storms in the solar system. Number 8. NASA and other space agencies are working on missions to send humans to Mars in the near future, possibly within the next couple of decades. Mars is considered the next frontier for space exploration. And now we're moving past Mars onto Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. It's so big that over 1,300 Earths could fit inside it. Its massive size makes it a dominant force in the solar system. Number 2. The Great Red Spot on Jupiter is a huge storm that has been raging for at least 300 years. The storm is so large that it's about twice the size of Earth and has winds of up to 400 miles per hour. Number 3. Jupiter is a gas giant, meaning it doesn't have a solid surface like Earth. It's mostly comprised of hydrogen and helium, similar to the Sun, with its atmosphere gradually thickening as you go deeper. Number 4. Jupiter has 95 known moons, and some of them are among the most interesting objects in the solar system. Its largest moons, known as the Galilean moons, are fascinating worlds in their own right. Number 5. While not as famous as Saturn's, Jupiter also has a faint ring system made mostly of dust particles. These rings are difficult to see from Earth, but were discovered by spacecraft. Number 6. Despite being so large, Jupiter rotates very quickly. It completes one rotation in just about 10 hours, making its days much shorter than Earth's. This fast rotation causes the planet to bulge at the equator. Number 7. Due to its massive gravity, Jupiter acts like a shield for the inner planets, including Earth, by attracting or deflecting asteroids and comets that might otherwise hit us. Number 8. Jupiter's magnetic field is the strongest of any planet in the solar system. It's 20,000 times stronger than Earth's. This magnetic field traps charged particles and creates intense radiation belts around the planet. And now, Saturn. Number 1. Saturn is best known for its stunning ring system, which is made up of billions of ice and rock particles. While other planets also have rings, Saturn's are the largest and most visible from Earth. Number 2. Like Jupiter, Saturn is mostly made of hydrogen and helium, with no solid surface to stand on. If you tried to land on Saturn, you would sink into its thick atmosphere. Number 3. Saturn is the least dense planet in the solar system. In fact, it's so light for its size that if you could find a body of water large enough, Saturn would float. Number 4. Saturn has at least 145 moons and moonlets orbiting it. Its largest moon, Titan, is even bigger than the planet Mercury and has a thick atmosphere, making it a target for future exploration. Number 5. While Saturn's rings are massive and span up to 175,000 miles wide, they're surprisingly thin, only about 10 meters thick in most places. Number 6. Saturn experiences huge storms and high-speed winds. Some storms on Saturn are so large that they can be seen from Earth with the telescope, and its winds can reach speeds of over 1,100 miles per hour. Number 7. At Saturn's North Pole, there's a bizarre six-sided jet stream known as the hexagonal storm. This geometric weather pattern is unlike anything else in the solar system and has fascinated scientists for decades. Number 8. Saturn rotates very quickly, completing one full spin in just about 10.7 hours. Like Jupiter, this fast rotation causes Saturn to bulge at the equator, making it look slightly squashed. And now, planet number 7, Uranus. So number 1. Unlike any other planet, Uranus rotates almost completely sideways. Its axis is tilted at an extreme angle of about 98 degrees, meaning it essentially rolls around the Sun, rather than spinning like a top. Number 2. Uranus, along with Neptune, is known as an ice giant. While it's made mostly of hydrogen and helium like Jupiter and Saturn, it has a much higher concentration of icy substances like water, ammonia and methane, giving it a bluish colour. Number 3. While Saturn's rings are famous, Uranus also has a set of thin, faint rings made mostly of dark particles. There are 13 known rings, and they are much harder to see than Saturn's. Number 4. Uranus is the coldest planet in the solar system, with temperatures plunging to as low as minus 224 degrees Celsius, or minus 371 degrees Fahrenheit. This is colder than Neptune, even though Neptune is further from the Sun. Number 5. A day on Uranus is only about 17 hours long due to its fast rotation. However, because Uranus takes 84 Earth years to orbit the Sun, each season on Uranus lasts for about 21 Earth years. Number 6. Uranus has 27 known moons, many of which are named after characters from Shakespeare's plays, like Miranda, Titania, and Oberon. These moons vary in size and have some fascinating geological features. Number 7. Uranus's atmosphere contains hydrogen sulfide, the same chemical that gives rotten eggs their unpleasant smell. Fortunately, you won't have to worry about that unless you plan on visiting. Number 8. While the ancient planets like Mars and Venus have been known since ancient times, Uranus wasn't discovered until 1781 by astronomer William Herschel using a telescope. It was the first planet to be discovered in the modern era. And we're almost there. We're now on to Neptune. Number 1. Neptune is the 8th and furthest planet from the Sun in our solar system. It's so far that it takes sunlight about 4 hours to reach it, compared to just 8 minutes for Earth. Number 2. Neptune is another ice giant with an atmosphere rich in water, ammonia and methane. The methane in its atmosphere absorbs red light, giving the planet its striking blue colour. Number 3. Winds on Neptune can reach speeds of up to 1,200 miles per hour, faster than the strongest hurricanes on Earth. These super fast winds create massive storms like the Great Dark Spot, a storm system similar to Jupiter's Great Red Spot. Number 4. Neptune takes around about 165 Earth years to orbit the Sun once. Since its discovery in 1846, Neptune completed its first full orbit around the Sun in 2011. Number 5. Like Saturn and Uranus, Neptune also has rings. However, Neptune's rings are faint, made up of dust particles and ice chunks. They're not as visible or as large as Saturn's rings. Number 6. The largest of Neptune's moons is Triton, which is unusual because it orbits the planet in the opposite direction of Neptune's rotation. Triton is also one of the coldest places in the solar system and has geysers that erupt nitrogen gas. Number 7. Neptune is one of the coldest planets, with temperatures dropping to minus 214 degrees Celsius or minus 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Despite its distance from the Sun, Neptune still has a surprisingly dynamic atmosphere, with powerful storms and winds. Number 8. Unlike other planets that were discovered by observation, Neptune's position was predicted through mathematical calculations. Astronomers noticed Uranus wasn't moving as expected, which led them to predict Neptune's existence before it was ever even seen through a telescope in 1846. I think we'll round this off now with Pluto. So let's have 8 facts about Pluto too. Number 1. It was once considered the 9th planet. Pluto was reclassified as a dwarf planet in 2006 because it doesn't clear its orbit of other objects. It's still a fascinating world in the far reaches of our solar system. Number 2. Pluto is much smaller than the planets. It's only about half as wide as the United States. In fact, it's even smaller than our moon. Despite its size, it's still massive enough to be round due to its own gravity. Number 3. One of the most iconic features of Pluto is its heart-shaped glacier. This bright area is made of nitrogen and methane ice and was spotted by the New Horizons spacecraft in 2015. Number 4. Pluto has 5 moons. The largest moon, Charon, is so big relative to Pluto that they're sometimes considered a double dwarf planet system. Pluto's other moons are much smaller and named Nix, Hydra, Kerberos and Styx. Number 5. Pluto is located in the Kuiper Belt, a region filled with icy bodies and comets. On average, Pluto is about 3.6 billion miles away from the Sun, making it incredibly cold, with surface temperatures of around about minus 229 degrees Celsius or minus 380 degrees Fahrenheit. Number 6. Pluto's atmosphere is mostly nitrogen, like Earth's, but is very thin and can freeze onto the surface when Pluto moves further from the Sun. As it gets closer in its long orbit, the atmosphere can expand and become more active. Number 7. Pluto takes about 248 Earth years to complete one orbit around the Sun. That means that since its discovery in 1930, it still hasn't completed a full orbit as of yet. Number 8. NASA's New Horizons mission flew by Pluto in 2015, giving us our first close-up images and data about this distant world. It revealed Pluto's complex terrain, with mountains, glaciers, and possible cryovolcanoes, or ice volcanoes. Pluto may be small, but it's still full of surprises. Right then, that's everything, and just want to say thank you for listening, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch up with you again soon. So good night for now.